part of the equation, remember, first, positive, and lasting impressions. Lasting impressions, this is my favorite. And this is when Dad told me, don't forget the comeback sauce. Right after he told me, the first hunk of meat you sell is yourself, and he knew I had his attention. I was listening to him, and I was apologetic for being disrespectful. He knew he could lay a few lessons on me, and he did. He followed up first hunk of meat you sell is yourself with, okay, now that you've thought about this and you're going to be mindful about the kind of first impression you make, you always want to leave a lasting impression on the people you meet. Don't forget the comeback sauce. I said, what do you mean by that, Dad? He goes, you want to put the comeback sauce on everybody you meet. You want them to come back. I said, no, I don't. I'm in the people business. I know you say that, but I'm in the staffing industry. There are people we don't want to come back. I already know that. I shadowed the office. I saw it. There's a lot of people that we don't want to come back. He said, really? Whether you can hire them or not, whether you work with them or not, do you want them to leave you feeling like they're not wanted? You may not be able to hire them. You, however, want them to know that you're respectful and you're mindful about the fact that they took the time to get to know you and you them, and that was a powerful gift. Yes, you put the comeback sauce on everyone you meet. It might be a different recipe if it's someone you don't want to work for you. It might be a different recipe if it's a customer that is challenging you and that you can't work with because of some barrier they put in your way. Your price is too high, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You put the comeback sauce on everyone you meet. It's just that the recipe might be a little different. And he said, remember, Mary, how big our family is? We seem to know just about everybody. You don't know when that person leaves. If you don't leave a positive impression on them, a lasting impression on them, you don't know who they're going to tell. I've learned this. Unhappy customers tell a lot more people than happy customers. You want everybody to at least feel heard and understood and valued. So that's what the recipe for comeback sauce is. I said, where in the world did you come up with this one, Dad? He said, well, it was when I opened the meat market, Johnny's Market, Bickelmeyer Meat Company, 704 Cheyenne, right down by the river in Kansas City, Kansas. And I'd saved enough money, and I finally could open my own market. And I'd worked on for that ever since I came in, graduated from 8th grade, Bellevue School, came in, worked in the meat business, and I worked for Mr. Snow, and he was really good to me. And when I left Mr. Snow and I decided to open my own market, he seemed like he was very positive. He seemed like he was supportive of me. I took 2 guys with me, and we opened up Johnny's Market. I was only in business a couple of months, and the guys came in one morning and they said, John, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble. What's the matter? Dad said. Well, we were at Sammy's bar last night, and Mr. Snow was down there with a couple of our competitors, and he said that he's going to have you out of business within a month or 2. They've got a plan. And Dad said he looked at him, and they were really worried. And he said, what's the plan? They said, John, that every time you advertise a price per pound, they're going to advertise 10 cents per pound cheaper until you can't afford to be in business any longer. Really, Dad said. And then he started to laugh. They said, this isn't funny, John. Do you think he'll hire us back? I mean, what will it be the same pay? This is bad, John. If we go out of business, we left to go with you. We were loyal to you. What do you think he's going to do? And Dad said, guys, and he started to laugh. It's not funny, John. Yes, it is, guys. We don't have any money to advertise. None. Their plan won't work. All we got is the quality of the meat we sell, the roof over our head, the knives we use, what little we pay ourselves. Oh, wait a minute. We've got comeback sauce. You pour the comeback sauce on everybody who comes in here and we'll be just fine. What do you mean, comeback sauce, John? What do you mean by that? And this is long before the words empowerment were in vogue in all those business books we read. Dad said, I don't know, you figure it out. One customer at a time. Recipe's going to be different for every customer. Like, for example, the guy who just came in here, he said his wife and his baby had been sick all week, and he was buying a pound of ground beef to make some spaghetti red. And, you know, he was talking about what a hard week he'd had, a little sleep, everybody's sick, and you took that pound of ground beef off the scale, and you wrapped it up and you gave it to him. Maybe what you could have done to put the comeback sauce on him is taken the ground beef off the scale, went into the cooler, added a little bit more, topped it off, wrapped it up, looked at him and said, you know what, you had a hard week. I hope your wife and your baby feel better. Just gave you a little extra. We'll take care of you every time you come in here to Bickelmeyer Meat Company, and you make sure that you come back and see us again. And we'll always take care of you, and tell your friends, because we'll take care of them too. Hope you have a better week. Hope your baby and your wife are better. And walk out to the counter. That might be the recipe for him. For the next person, it's different. I don't know what it is. They've got these little skinny things they call Bic sticks. They're way better than Slim Jims. Now, 60 years later, Pickle Marmits has a totally different customer base than they had 60 years ago. They were just voted one of the top 5 Mexican restaurants in Kansas City by Pitch Magazine, and they're not even a restaurant. On Saturdays, they serve authentic carnitas and tamales, and their recipe for comeback sauce is while you take your number and you're waiting in line, number 16, number 14, number 24, go on over there. We got tamales and carnitas, and we got a really great lunch. And they put out the picnic tables with the red checkerboard tablecloths that I have on the original book. It doesn't matter who you're working with. The recipe for comeback sauce is going to be a little different based on who they are. So don't forget the comeback sauce.